Hi, my name is Capatin Liz Clark, and I have been sailing around the Pacific for the last 12 years on my 40-foot sailboat named Swell. We could start with cleaning products. I use a mix of vinegar and water with a tiny bit of biodegradable dish soap, and then add a drop or two of essential oil. And that's kind of a general all-purpose cleaner that I put in a spray bottle that I can use for anything from the floors to the cockpit or whatever. And I find that works fantastic. I make my own toothpaste out of baking soda and peppermint essential oils and coconut oil. And generally I try to simplify in terms of I can do a lot of things with coconut oil, so I buy a big container of coconut oil and then try to use that for many things. When I can, I shop in places where you can get things in bulk. So if I do have packaging, it's just one and not so many small ones. And then I reuse those plastic bags. If it's plastic, I reuse them as for trash, or they get reused a lot. There are some new technologies in bottom paint that are much healthier for the oceans and your body when you're putting them on. But in general, there are some things about boating that are really just like everything we do. It's a compromise, and you're going to have some impact on the environment. So you can minimize your impact once you're back in the water. Really be conscious of what you're using as a laundry soap, what you're using as body products, sunscreen, all those things, since you're just probably showering on the back of your deck. All those things are washing straight into the ocean. So, you just really need to turn those labels around and have a look and see if what's in there and learn about it, so that you're not polluting the ocean around you. I learned fairly quickly that to manage my own health and wellness, I had to be really proactive. And when I left, I wasn't very in touch with what foods made my body feel good, what I really needed to do to stay healthy. So it's been a very long and often trial and error process of figuring out what my body needs to function at its optimum. I had every kind of illness you could think of on the journey, and so it really motivated me to kind of figure out what was going to work for me the best. So I think that's just a really important thing in general if you're traveling on a boat or traveling anywhere, is just to start getting in touch with, for me it's been foods. I love beans, so I really stock up with a lot of beans and lentils and things like that, because they really seem to fill me up and sustain. I have to eat really simply when I'm at sea because I get seasick, so I have to eat just like rice and beans is probably my favorite meal when I'm out there. Maybe a little cabbage chopped up. Cabbage is great because it lasts a long time, and you can keep a little bit of fresh food in your meals versus all being canned, For sunscreen, I use a brand called Avasol. It's a tinted sunscreen made out of non-nanoparticle zinc, and it's really nice on your skin. There's a lot of other really beneficial ingredients that feel good when you put your sunscreen on. Once I found this sunscreen, I contacted the guy because it was so nice, and all this, for someone who wears sunscreen and is in the sun as much as I have been, it was such a change to find something that actually, when I was putting on my skin felt happy. So yeah, it's no chemical UV blockers, non-nanoparticle. I think the main things to look for if you're looking for a sunscreen that's okay for the oceans is to make sure that it's there's a physical barrier on your skin. If it rubs in clear, that's not a good thing. Yeah, so when you find a surf spot and from a boat perspective, you're generally looking at it from the back. I tend to just kind of take it slow and just go in and have a look first, maybe swim around with some fins and a mask on to kind of see what the bottom looks like, if it's intimidating, you know. And I think just a lot of times in those situations, you're really not close to medical help. Like, it really changes your perspective on surfing when you're in like these remote areas. You can't push yourself quite as hard. You have to kind of stick with what you know you can make. So I just think taking it slow and going to have a look, and don't try not to have any ego in it. Just get out there and be stoked to have made it from the other side of the ocean to be checking out a wave, you know.